Hey, what is up, guys? It is Tyler, and welcome to an American Horror Story review. That rhymes so much. I love it. I am here to review. I apologize if you guys were expecting me to review every single episode of American Horror Story. I apologize. I was busy, and I wasn't absolutely caught up in American Horror Story at the time. But I've caught up, and now I'm up to date with the latest episode of American Horror Story. Episode, I believe, 10. Hold on, let me check real quick. I believe this is episode 10. But it's kind of odd considering usually this episode 11. So we are on episode 11 of American Horror Story Battle Royale. And I must say, this is probably one of the best episodes of the whole season. This season, when it started off, I was lost, I was confused. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? We had Lady Gaga in here, slutting around, sleeping with a bunch of men and a bunch of women, kissing people, drinking blood, turning people into vampires, having kids be I was so confused in the very beginning of American Horror Story, but now, I have finally found, kind of the groove of what happened. Well, I haven't found it out now. I found out, as the season went on, if you know what I mean. And now, let me put this camera on a little bit. And now, we're at the near end of American Horror Story Hotel. And we are at episode 11, Battle Royale. So, if you need a recap of what happened at the end of episode 10, it was Liz Taylor and Iris, the lady I used to call, the counter lady or whatever I used to call her. So Liz Taylor and Iris were about to kill themselves because it's like, oh, well, I don't want to get stuck in this hotel. I'm tired of living, all this kind of stuff. So Liz Taylor finds out that her son is coming to find her or something. Yeah, find her. We'll find his dad because we all assume that he's looking for his dad and not his, So basically, he finds his son. And his son accepts her, and he's like, and then she comes to the Iris and she's like, well, my son's accepting me into his life. I might be a grandmother one day. And then Iris is like, all right, so you're pulling out, whatever. Well, she's not like whatever. She gets all sad and emotional, like, I'm gonna kill myself. I'll be alone when I die, I guess. So then Liz Taylor gets the idea, like, you don't have to be alone. You don't ever have to be alone. Because we're gonna take this hotel over, we're gonna spiffy it up, and we're gonna make it our own. And with that, we get to a scene where the Countess and Donovan are talking, because Donovan just got finished killing the Countess's boyfriend, and then the Countess just got finished killing her lover's girlfriend. It's kind of confusing unless you watch the episode. Basically, she gets pissed at Donovan for killing her lover, and she's going to kill him, and then she's like, oh, well, she just realized he did all this for him, and she's like, she's going to accept him. And then we just see these two roll into their a bunch of G's. That was one of the best scenes of the whole entire show. We just see Iris and Liz Taylor going there with two pistols in hand. Pa, 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 pa. Just shooting. And we thought that they both died until we finally get to this episode, Battle Royale. We open up where we left off. Liz Taylor and Iris, they go in there. My lips are chappy. They go in there, they start shooting, and they shoot both of them twice. But then Donovan goes he ducks, not ducks, but he covers Lady Gaga. He covers her so that way he gets shot, and he gets shot multiple times, and she falls, and then he gets shot multiple times. But before they can finish him off, Iris stops him because that's her son, and she's like, no, I don't want my boy to die. And then they look up, and the Countess is gone. It's like, oh crap, she's still alive. So Countess is going, and Donovan, he's bleeding out. He got gunshot wounds everywhere. He's practically gonna die. And Donovan's like, you can't let me die here. I don't want to be stuck here forever. So Liz Taylor and Iris, they take him outside, and he dies on the streets. So that way he doesn't die, and his soul is not trapped inside the hotel. He dies on the street. They get him cremated. Iris takes his ashes and spreads it all over the hotel bedroom. So then we see that the Countess is in fact alive, but she's like she's like down in the basement, like basement, like where all the dead bodies are, and someone's like pulling the gunshots, the bullets out of her, like not like medically, they by hand going into the wound and pulling the bullets out, and it was silly Sally over there. What's her name? Hypodermic Sally. I call her Silly Sally. Silly Sally over there pulling the bullet. I keep on saying bullet wounds. Keep on pulling the bullets out of the Countess's like back area, pulling all these bullets out, and she's screaming and hollering, and she's about to die. So then she's like, "Well, I don't." Well, Sally's like, "I don't want you to die because I need you to kill someone for me." It's like, "I need you to kill John Lowe and bring him to me dead." And basically, if you don't know, Sally wants John Lowe dead because John Lowe won't be with her. She's like, "Well, he's gonna be with me forever if he dies. So bring him to me dead, so his life stays in a hotel." So the Countess is about to die, and so Sally goes and gets two of her children, her blood children, and the Countess is like, "No, please don't kill them," because she loves her children so much. She's like, "No, please don't kill them. I love my children. I don't want them to die," because if they get the blood transfusion, they're going to have to use all of their blood in order to like revive her. Otherwise, she's going to die. So basically, they'll die to live for her, or she'll die in order for those two to live. They're just like background children. You don't really have to care about who they are because they didn't really matter. So she's like crying. She's like, "Please don't kill them." And she's like, "Well, you have to." And then Sally's like, "Well, you have to." And then the children are like, "It's okay, mommy. We're trying to help you." And then she lets it happen, and then they die on top of her because she's hugging them and whatnot. She gets the blood transfusion done, and she finally drinks the blood in order to revive herself. Cut to the scene back to Iris. She's in the room with the the ashes of Donovan, and we see what's her name? I don't even know her name. I don't even think throughout this whole season I knew her name. We see Mr. March's assistant. I'm gonna say Mr. March's assistant or his maid. Mr. March's maid, basically, come in and like, "Oh, do you want me to clean this?" Because she loves to clean stuff. "Oh, do you want me to clean this?" And she's like, no. Well, she said yeah, but she said no. And then she's like, "Do you want me to scoop it back up in a can? Like, scoop back up in a can, give it to you?" And she's like, "No." And then she's like, "You go vacuum it up over there." And she's like, "The vacuum doesn't have a back in it." And she's like, "I know." So basically, she wants her son like scattered all over the room. So it's like her son is basically still in the hotel, in a way. Kind of deep stuff. So Iris goes to the top roof and she's about to kill herself, but she doesn't. She gets a sense of relief, I guess. Cut back to Iris and Liz Taylor. They're wandering the hallways, talking about how they're going to take down the Countess, and it's like they can't really do it alone. In order for them to do that, they need Ramona. And to Ramona, she's locked in the that big room with all the children in it, and she's locked. They think she's locked in Iron Maiden. They don't know there's like a bunch of children in it. So they go into the room and they find a bunch of children scattered all over the place, dead, cut throat, drained of their blood, and Will Drake, of course. Then they finally find Ramona. Ramona, she's all pissed and whatnot, looking sexy as hell. I must say, for 57, she looks good. Go ahead, Angela Bassett. I see you. Okay, so we see Ramona, and she's like, well, she thinks that the Countess sent them to kill her, or send her back into the Iron Maiden, and she's like, "Y'all not gonna kill me, because I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you guys." Because she's like, she remembers Iris, because Iris is the one who locked her into the Iron Maiden, so she's like, "I'm definitely gonna kill you first." And then she's like getting cold feet or whatnot, and then Liz has to talk her down, like, "No, we need you in order to take down the Countess. The Countess did not send us," and she's kind of like joins them in a way. So then we get to one of the best parts in the whole show. The part that confirms that one season and another season are just like this. Not mashed together, but they are connected, and it is awesome. So we get downstairs. We saw her in the promo for the episode. We saw Gabri Sidi, or how are we saying it? Gabri Sidi. Basically, she played a few parts in season 4 and 3. And we're like, alright, she's probably playing a background character, or she's playing like a character that's probably going to get killed off. So they go downstairs, they take her to the counter, because they're about to kill her and give it to Ramona. So Ramona can like feast on her. So they're asking her who she is, and she says Queenie, and I was like, are you serious? That's Queenie? I don't look, because if you don't know, if you have not seen American Horror Story Coven, that is Queenie from American Horror Story Coven. Because you gotta remember, guys, Queenie never died. Queenie lived out of Fiona, who died, Madison, Nan. I said Fiona already. Basically, the only living ones from Coven was Queenie, whatever that other girl's name, whoever Teresa Farmiga played, and the new Supreme, basically, what's her name? Cordelia. So basically, those three were living, and I was like, oh my god, it's Queenie. They're connected. They're in the same universe. That's so awesome. Well, it makes sense because Coven happened in like 2012, 2013, and this has happened in 2015. And I was like, this makes so much sense. Let me stop getting hyped. And then she was like, oh, well, they are going to check her into this hotel room. And you can tell she's like, oh, she says I'm a witch. Because Lucille's like, oh, I see you on CNN, the witches thing. And they're pretty much going all out to make sure that you know that this season's connected. Like, oh, I saw you on TV. You on the witches. And she's like, yeah, my Supreme hooked me up and all this kind of stuff. I was just like, it's connected. So they show her to her room. And I'm like, oh, Queenie's about to die. But then I remembered something. Well, I didn't remember it until afterwards, cause she gets up to the room and she's looking all around and she's getting this bad feeling like I feel like something happened here. I don't want to get moved to another room. So they leave the room. She goes to the bathroom to wash her face, and then Ramona is behind the curtain. I'm like, oh no, Ramona's gonna die. Ramona's gonna die now. I'm like, oh lord. So I'm probably like really loud. So I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, oh man, Ramona's gonna die. So she takes she has a glass jar and she slices Queenie's arm, and then and then like she gets the slice on Queenie and it appears on her, and I was like, I forgot she's a human voodoo doll. So, like, if you do any damage to Queenie, you're gonna feel it. Like, she won't feel anything. Like, you're gonna feel it instead. So Queenie's like, bitch, you think that's really gonna hurt me? And then she like slices her own, and then like she gets sliced, she stabs herself in the hand, and Ramona gets stabbed, and they start fighting, and I was like, who do I cheer for? Who do I cheer for? I didn't cheer for in this situation. So Queenie takes down Ramona, and she gets a glass shard, and she's about to slice her neck basically. So that way she can kill Ramona. And she's about to, and then she gets stabbed right in her in the heart basically. And she gets stabbed on her neck. Queenie gets stabbed on her neck by Mr. March. And she starts draining her blood, and she's like, what the hell? You're supposed to be dying too. And then Mr. March is like, you can't kill me, I'm a ghost. I'm not human. I won't feel it. I'm already dead. So you can't kill me. So basically Queenie dies by Mr. March, and that's how we know. So Queenie from Coven is dead now because she got killed by Mr. March, and then her blood got drained by Ramona. So Ramona drank Queenie's blood, and now I guess Ramona's a human voodoo doll, or she's a witch. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I thought we were about to see some stuff like, oh, this was really the voodoo person from Coven. And I was like, is that about to be Ramona? Is she really the? And I was like, nah, that wouldn't make any sense because the voodoo person from Coven died. So, yeah, I thought that part was awesome. So, what do you guys think about this being connected? Do you like that? I love it. Maybe we'll see like, I'm hoping, and I know it probably won't happen, but I'm hoping like Cordelia and Teresa Farmiga or whatever her character's name is. I cannot think of her character name right now, but I hope they like come in and they're like, I know one of our witches checked in here. Where is she? And they burned down the hotel. Yo, that would be so. Oh my god, that would be sick. Can you imagine if that actually happened? Oh my god, that would be too hard. All right, so then we get back to it. We see John Lowe, and you know he's the Ten Commandments killer. Spoiler if you've not seen the rest of the season. And I hope you've seen the rest of the season if you're watching this video. So John Lowe, he is in the he's going home, and he has a person with him because you know he has Alex and Holden with him now. So it's like in order for Alex to live and Holden to live, they both gotta drink blood. So it's like, okay, well now he has to go out and kill people in order for them to live. So he brought home a fresh person. He goes into the house and everyone's gone. He looks on the coat rack and sees the key to his room at the Cortez, and I was like, oh man. So he goes to the hotel, and back in his room he looks for everyone, and he doesn't see them, but he finds Silly Sally in there. And Sally's like, she's talking something, I can't remember what they're talking, and she's like, well, you do know there is one commandment left, and that is thou shalt not commit murder. And even though he committed murder, so if he killed himself, that'd be kind of no. So basically, he has to kill a murderer and, you know, put it in a glass. So he's off to go do that, and now we get to Ramona, Liz Taylor, and Iris, and they're plotting to kill the Countess. Even though they're like, oh, what are we gonna do? And they're like, oh, well, the Countess is still alive. And they're like, oh, well, Ramona's like, well, I just killed a witch. I'm powerful. I'm about to go kill her myself. Alright, because of commercial break, we come back. And the Countess is now, you know, it looks bright in the background. Hold on. There we go. So we go back to the Countess, and she's like in her robe, looking sexy as always. The Gaga's character always looks hot. So she comes to her room, and she's like walking slowly, ready to get a drink. And then we see Ramona. She's walking in the opposite side, and they're talking. Ramona's plotting to kill her, and she's like, "Well, I am gonna kill you." And the Countess is like, "Well, please do." And she's like, well, you really think you're gonna kill me? And it was a bunch of stuff they were saying that really didn't matter too much. Basically, the Countess is like, kill me, because I don't want to be here anymore, all this kind of stuff. None of my kids are dead, I don't want to be here. So she says, she starts getting close to Ramona, and they kiss, and then she's like, well, if you're gonna kill me, at least scream me first. And I was like, really is that necessary? But of course, you gotta remember, guys, Lady Gaga, well, the Countess, is a thought. We must remember that about her. So, they get finished screwing. We didn't see that part, of course. Well, no, I can't say of course, because it's American Horror Story. We would actually see that part. So, they get finished doing what they're doing. We don't see Ramona, oddly. I don't know why. But we don't see Ramona. We just see the Countess. She has her bags, and she's about to walk out. She's going down the hallway, and she goes to the elevator. Opens the elevator door. John Lowe is out on the other side. He pulls out a gun. Pow, 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 pow. And this time, he shoots the Countess everywhere. I mean, the Countess is dead this time. Because she gets shot here, 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 here. Only place she didn't get shot was in her head. Shot her like 7 times. And she's dead. And I was like, damn, that easily? It took this long for her to actually die. I'm like, Jesus. So, before I talk about the last scene, I did miss a part. We did see the backstory of Hypodermic Sally. So let me rehash that real quick. So basically, Hypodermic Sally, she was regular Sally. She was writing for a band back in 1993. This group, not this group, like a singer and his girlfriend. They were writing for each other, and basically they went up to Hotel Cortez to have sex because it's American Horror Story. You can't have an episode without sex, right? So they go up to the hotel. They're having sex. After Sally, she's shooting up people. She's shooting herself up with a needle and whatnot. And there's this one part where she actually put the needle in the guy's penis. I was like, oh my. I was holding my crotch the whole time. Like, oh my god, this is disgusting. So then, I don't know. I think she said she loved him so much that she wanted to be with him forever. So she gets this bright idea to get a needle and thread and start stitching them to her, so they could stay together forever. And it looked disgusting. Then they started foaming at the mouth because, blood loss and getting like injected with a bunch of drugs, and they die stitched up to her. So they die and like their bodies decaying and whatnot. And she stays there because like no one's gonna save her. She's been in a room stitched to them, so she can't move. And then we see the addiction demon come in there, and she says she was tortured by him for 3 weeks, 3 days, until she finally broke loose and got out of there. And that's kind of her backstory. Kind of sad. Really don't see where the addiction demon really comes in too much. Well, it makes sense because she was addicted to drugs and whatnot. The addiction demon, I thought he was going to play a major role, but he didn't really play too much of a vital role as I thought he was going to play. But he didn't. I really don't care that much. So the final scene gets down to Peter March, Mr. March, and the maid, and they are waiting for the Countess, because now, the Countess is a ghost now. She's dead. So it's like, she is stuck in a hotel forever. So he can see her whenever he wants now, instead of seeing her once a month. So he invites her to dinner, and she's like, he tells her, thank you for calling the police and trying to get him arrested or something. She said, I didn't call the police. If I wanted to get you arrested, I could have done that myself. And sorry, I'm saying a lot. And so the maid confesses and says, okay, it was me, I did it. Confesses her love for him, like, I did this all for you. Gets on her hands and knees, like, can you see the love I'm giving you now? Because it's so sad, just her doing all these things for him, showing her love, and he just does not care, is blind to it. So it's like, okay, now he's finally going to see her for who she really is, and probably, like, start to come around. But then he's like, he goes over to her and he's like, get out. And I was like, you stone cold bastard. And he says, you're dismissed. So basically she could leave. I think she's like dismissed forever, free to go or whatever. So she's like, okay, takes off her apron. The Countess says some smart ass remark. She gives one back. I forgot what she said, but I remember her calling her a whore, which is funny. I chuckled at that. Then the ending scene was the Countess and Peter March doing a toast and drinking. I'm like, they probably drinking bleach. She probably put bleach in their drinks, like they about to die. And they already did, but they about to die again. And this is too funny. Saw a trailer for next week, which is the finale. I'm excited for. I cannot wait. This episode is probably one of the best episodes of American Horror Story so far. Where would I put this season as of right now? I would not say it's my favorite. Actually, I might even say it was my least favorite. No. I will put it in front of... what's it called? The carnival one. I forgot what that one's called. What's that one called? Freak Show. I will put it in front of Freak Show. And, because basically it would go... My favorites would go from least to greatest. It would go Freak Show, Hotel. Depending on the finale, it might go higher. I don't know. Freak Show, Hotel... it's between Coven and I would have to say Coven's my favorite, and behind Coven will be Asylum. So those are my favorites. What did you guys think of this episode? What are you expecting for the finale? I'm expecting something big, something spectacular. I can't wait for the finale. I'm excited. It's next Wednesday. I will do a review for it. Review the whole season as a whole, see where I think it's put, and will I be excited for American Crime Story, which is coming up in February. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.